The movie centers around this idea of sparking a deeply meaningful conversation with a stranger. I mean, you don't have to know this person at all, but you can connect on a certain level where both of you can walk away with a profound experience. Now, let's dive into it. The fact that the movie somehow takes place in a cab for most of its runtime, I find that incredible. And yet somehow it just finds a way to stay intriguing and, draw you in. It's gripping stuff. And I mean, this is just a conversation, guys. Let's be honest. It's a conversation that happens in a confined space. And with that being said, it might not be a movie for everyone. It just shows that we live in a time where we can connect very easily. But in fact, we are so disconnected as human beings. And the one thing that stuck with me is the fact that at the beginning of the movie, Dakota Johnson's character, she has a phone in a bag and she's constantly looking at the phone. Sean Penn plays Clark, so he even mentions that, it's refreshing to have somebody not be on their phone. Like, you have people that climb into the cab, the first thing they reach for is the phone because I don't want to talk to you. What are we going to talk about? I don't know you. So that is what gets the whole ball rolling. And I mean, if you think about it, guys, we live in an age where, if you are in a space where you don't know anybody, what is the first thing you're going to reach for? You're going to reach for your cell phone. You're going to look busy. You're not even really doing anything on your cell phone, but you are stuck in your cell phone. But in this case, something is happening on a cell phone. She finds herself in a bit of an entanglement. Now, Sean Penn's character Clark he's been around the block. He's a seasoned vet. He knows how to read people, and he immediately knows what's going on because he conducts his little experiment, to get the conversation going. He asks a question here, he says something here, but the guy knows. He's talking from experience, and that's what makes the movie so interesting. Dakota Johnson's character, when she gets in the cab, she's a little bit distant. You don't really know what's going on, but it's brilliant to see her peel back the layers as the movie progresses forward, and that's down to Sean Penn's character, just breaking down the walls bit by bit. So it happens in a confined space of the cab, but her interactions on the phone plays a big part in the plot. I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys, but then what happens on the phone deeply ties into the conversation that they're having, and to see how the whole thing unfolds, it's brilliant. It's a movie that focuses on conversation, intimate conversation that has a deeper meaning. It actually reminds me of a movie starring Tom Hardy, which was called Lock. Now, Lock was crazy because it was Tom Hardy in the car the whole time, and he was, having a conversation on his phone the whole time. So it's a deeply intimate, personal movie. So it follows a similar story structure. But then it's definitely not a movie for everyone, guys. It's a movie that requires your full attention. You have to be listening to every single bit of dialogue, because somehow you can just get lost in the thing. There's certain points where if you don't pick up what's happening, you're going to be lost, So it's a movie that actually requires you to put down your phone, just focus on what's actually happening. And the one thing that stands out to me is the performances by Dakota and Sean Penn. Sean Penn I haven't seen in a good movie in a while. I'm not too sure, but it's been a while since I've seen him in something, and this is a brilliant performance. He is brilliant as Clark. It's effortless. And, in order for a movie like this to work, the acting has to be of a high caliber, and the chemistry between the two actors has to work. It has to feel organic. If that aspect of the movie didn't work as well as it did with Dakota and Sean, the whole thing would have just fallen apart. And it's very engaging, It needed to be. The moment the movie starts, you need to be engaged in this conversation, because we live in a time where attention spans are very short, man. Short form content is a thing. you know, doing this the whole time. So the movie captures my attention immediately, and the acting is on another level. This is the type of movies I want to see Dakota Johnson star in. She needs to stay away from franchise movies. She needs to be in small indie movies. This is the space in which she can fully showcase off her acting skills. And I mean, she is a brilliant actress. If she just goes on and she keeps choosing the right roles, she might go on and become one of the actors of this current generation. And to see her hold her own against Sean Penn, that interaction was brilliant to watch. And I take my hat off to Christy Hall for this movie. It's very rare that you get movies like this that's so intimate, that just takes place in a small confined space, but actually has deeper meaning, and the conversations that they have, they explore various topics: where you're from, what your childhood was like, sexual relationships and being married and, divorce. There's a lot of topics, the conversation is engaging. You'll find yourself intrigued by the conversation. Now, look, like I said, this might not be a movie for everybody. I see people being like, I don't want to watch this. But if you can sit through this movie, you actually end up with a rewarding experience, The lost art of the conversation. I mean, like, people have actually forgotten what it is to have a meaningful conversation. And me, myself, sometimes I'm guilty of that, being in company and then you on your phone most of the time. So this revolves around that entire idea that people have actually forgotten how to have a conversation. Interesting stuff, guys. I'm not gonna lie. And I really enjoy this movie. I was actually surprised by this movie, that a conversation can, grab my attention like this. Not a movie for everyone, but if you do stick with it, it's a rewarding experience. And brilliant performances by Dakota and Sean Penn, guys. Brilliant. Now, I give this movie a 3.5 out of 5. Yes, it's good. It's a good movie. I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie, guys. It's brilliant how they managed to structure this story, and it's good writing. Something that's missing from a lot of movies. It has a good story structure. It's written very well. And Christy Hall, wow, incredible. I'm impressed. Please let me know down below what you guys think about Daddio. Have you watched this? Have you seen a trailer? Are you interested in watching a movie like this? I definitely think it's worth a watch. It's worth checking out, guys. And that's it for me, guys. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, guys. I will definitely catch you on the next video, and I will keep the reviews coming. Let's go.